Good morning, everyone. I hope that you're doing well. My name is Meg McCracken, and I'd like to welcome you to my home studio. Good morning, everyone. It's so good to see you logging in. I'm so happy to be able to practice with you all this morning. So thank you. Hi, thank you for showing up. It's really, really good to be here with all of you. I'm managing two screens, so I'm looking back and forth between Facebook Live and Instagram. And there's Jason. Good morning, Jason. Oh, this is really wonderful. Thank you so much for coming, and thank you so much for continuing to practice. Practice is always important, but I feel like at these times it's really vitally important that hi Tracy, it's good to see you. It's really important that we practice. And I think it's really nice to be able to get together in this, oh, good morning, Chris. Yay, to get together in this more online virtual kind of way. I think that it's really amazing the way that we have gotten creative with our ways of connecting. I think it's really, really wonderful. And so today for practice, you won't need much, but it would be nice. You'll see I have a blanket here. It would be nice if you had a blanket. And maybe if you don't have a blanket, you could use a rolled up towel or something like that. You might want a mat. I don't typically use a mat, but if you want a mat, you could grab a mat. But other than that, you just need yourself. And good morning, there's Crystal. Amazing. Gang's all here. So today's practice, I thought I would dedicate to cultivating patience. It's something that I'm continually trying to cultivate in myself and my own life, just my capacity to be with whatever is, to allow it to know that even though I might not like or understand it, there is a rightness to whatever is in the moment, and it's so much bigger than maybe I can comprehend. And so, especially at these times, I feel like we're kind of can start to feel cooped up with ourselves and maybe with others in our households, feel a little bit trapped by the situation or just angsty about the situation. And this practice today is just about cultivating patience to be able to be with all of that and just know that we have the capacity to stay grounded and stay centered and to really deal with it well, to remember that it's important to be tender with ourselves and tender with each other, because we are all doing the best that we can. Each and every one of us is doing the best that we can, and I think that there aren't really any exceptions. And so to remember that is at the root of patience. To allow things to be as they are is at the root of patience. And where patience can take us is to a place of deeper understanding. It can take us to a place of deeper connection. And it can take us to a new way of walking through a situation that is more connected, that is more in alignment, that is more integrated. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. So what you'll do is you'll take your blanket or your towel, and you want to have it, in a rectangle to start. And then all you're going to do is roll it up into a long, skinny, tight roll. This is one of my favorite things to do, and I do this almost every day. And so you'll have your blanket kind of just laid out long on your mat or on the floor, and you just put your butt down in front of the blanket roll, and then you lay your upper back onto the blanket. And you can decide whether you want the blanket closer to the hips or a little bit further away and a little bit higher at the spine. And if this roll is a little bit too big for you, of course you can unroll it a little bit. Just allow yourself this moment to really land and settle, to invite the quality of patience to this moment and to yourself. Just dedicate yourself in this practice this morning. Simply taking the moment as it comes, as it is, and yourself as you are. Let that all settle and let that all be. So for now, allow your awareness to settle in the soft whisper of your breath. Just breathe long and even in and out through the nose. If you need to breathe in through the nose and out through the mouth, that's perfectly fine. Simply experience the sensation of breath coming and going in the space of your chest, in the space of your heart. Now imagine that the breath originates right in the very center of the heart center. And as you inhale, the breath expands and radiates out infinitely in all directions, like the rays of the sun, growing luminous and bright. And as you exhale, allow everything to soften and settle back into the center of the seat of your heart. Again, from the center of the heart, as you inhale, radiating the rays of awareness in all directions. And as you exhale, let it all settle, let it all land softly in the center of your heart. Simply taking each breath as it comes. Having some patience with yourself if it's taking a moment for your mind and your body to land and settle. It's not a problem. Let that be what that is. Now continuing to breathe in and out of the space of your heart. Allow the winds of your breath to catch the wings of the arms. And as you inhale, and the chest radiates wide, sweep your arms out and any amount up overhead onto the floor behind you. And then as you exhale and the breath softens and settles into the space of the heart, allow the arms to slide back down by your side. So like you're making little snow angels as you inhale and allow the heart to expand wide. Allow the arms to circle any amount up and maybe even overhead, but maybe not that far. Maybe keep the elbows bent or straight, and as you exhale, all the way back down. Take each cycle as it comes, as it is. Allowing yourself to really be present to this rhythm in your body right now in motion. Right now I'm feeling a little bit of a catch in my left shoulder. Force my arms higher up overhead would be the opposite of patience for me. So I'm just going to take it as it is, small and subtle as it comes. All the while, breathing in and out of a heart that is wide enough to hold it all. This too, whatever this is for you. See how that happens when you can meet something with patience, and I meet this tension in my left shoulder with patience. It's something there, and the tension softens. It allows me access to the truth. How about just one more cycle here? And after that next cycle, simply allow your arms to rest. Rest your awareness in your breath in your heart. Let it all settle and let it all be. Feel like we run around in our lives, just like we're running around in a shooken up snow globe. So to take a moment to just let all of the frenzy of our mind and our lives and our living to just settle and be, clarity can arise. As you bend your knees and roll off your blanket, roll onto your right hand side. Just take a moment there on your side, not being in a rush. Patience allows things to take the time that they take. Then push yourself up. And what I like to do is unroll the blanket or towel. We're going to come onto hands and knees, and I like to have this beneath my knees. So I invite you to pad the knees if you need to pad the knees. And just come right up onto hands and knees and then settle back into a child's pose. Allow your forehead to drop, and maybe your arms drop back down by the side, or maybe you keep your hands forward, or maybe even fold your hands beneath your head. If this doesn't feel good on the knees, have patience with yourself and take your hips a little higher, and you can rest down like this. And rest back into the arms of your breath, in and out of the space of your heart. It's a really beautiful Lao Tzu quote on patience. And it's just this: do you have the patience to wait until the mud settles and the water is clear? Can you remain unmoving until wise action arises on its own? So simply pause and wait. Invite patience and clarity to rise from within. And at the bottom of your next exhale, as it all lands and settles in the space of your heart, settle deeply. From there, as you inhale, stretch and reach your arms way out in front of you. And as you exhale, simply land. On your next inhale, keep the spine rounded as you come up onto hands and knees. And at the very top of the inhale, wait for that. Arch your spine, turn your heart forward and the gaze forward out of the heart. And then as you exhale, keep the spine arched until you start to settle back, and the tail will tuck on its own, and then you can round down and soften the forehead. So as you inhale, begin to expand from the center of the heart, rise up, keep coiled until the last moment. Turn the heart and the gaze forward. Keep the arch, patience as you go back. And you'll notice there's an intuitive time where the body just naturally starts to tuck and curl in. Just allow that. So inhale, coil forward. And exhale, arch back. Risk moving and breathing a little slower today. What that's like, to allow things to simply take the time that they take to unfold without you having to force anything. How about 2 more of these? Breathing in and out of a heart that's wide enough to hold this to whatever this is for you, be it a joy, a freedom, an affirmation. And then the next time you press back and allow yourself to fold back into child's pose, pause for a moment. Invite patience in again and again. Rest in a place of allowing in the breath. and allow wise action to rise on its own. So once again, engaging in that sort of base movement. But maybe as you inhale and you come up, you want to allow your hips to drop and your chest to lift. And as you exhale, maybe you kind of swirl off to the side and loop around. Or maybe you stay more in a cat-cow position and begin to like loop around through the ribs or through the head. Just some free-form movement for you to acknowledge what it feels like to tend well to your body with patience, to listen well and to allow things to unfold, to take the time that it takes maybe in a specific pose to soften and settle. Because the truth of the matter is that I don't really know the way for you. I know the way for me just in the moment, and that's all. I know that you know the way for you in the moment. Allow yourself the next few breaths. Let this feel really, really good, really nourishing. How does patience move you here in this moment? And after your next exhale, jump down, back into child's pose. Take a moment to rest back in the arms of the breath, in the space of the heart. As you inhale a radiant breath in all directions, just allowing what is. And as you exhale, let it all settle and let it all be. Now on your next inhale, stretch and reach your arms way out in front of you. Widen your knees a little bit. And then as you exhale, walk your hands over to the left. Stretch your right arm really long. And allow your chest to kind of come over your left thigh. And you can stay put right here. Or perhaps you want to hold your left hand beneath your head. Oftentimes what I like to do is actually thread my right arm underneath my left arm and lay the outer edge of the right shoulder and the right side of the face down onto the floor. So you take your time with it to find the pose, the experience that feels wise to you. And take this opportunity to really cultivate the capacity to stay. To not have to fidget or futz or move away from the stretch or the strain, but rather to just stay and settle and invite it into your heart. Whatever this is, let that be what that is, without having to fix it or change it, or judge it or hide it. Just let that be what that is. Each breath, inviting in the power of patience. Last breath here. Just slowly start to make your way back through to the center. Unwind yourself from where you were. Take a moment to land and settle. Take the moment as it comes and yourself as you are. Exhale completely, soften and settle into the center of your heart. As you inhale, stretch and reach from the center of your heart, your arms way out in front of you, and rise on up to hands and knees. And let's just unfold the knees for a moment. So you'll tuck your toes under.
Pop the knees up off the floor, and for a moment, just stretch back into downward dog with the hips high. Just take a moment to land in your downward dog. Relax through the jaw and through the shoulders. Take this moment as it is. And if you need to pedal the feet a little bit to just really open up through the backs of the legs, pedal the feet. If you want to swish the hips from side to side, you certainly could do that. And really relishing the transition as you inhale, come forward to hands and knees. Take your time, just start to move in the way of allowing. And as you exhale, drop your seat back down to your heels, drop your forehead down, widen the knees, land. Allow a breath to come and go in the space of the heart. Then from here, walk your hands over to the right. Stretch out long through the arms. And maybe you just allow your forehead to drop. And maybe you want to stay here with the left arm long. Maybe you even want to put your right hand beneath your forehead. Or you can even thread the left arm underneath the right and lay your left cheek on the floor. Maybe you keep the right arm stretched out, or maybe you put the fingers down. You could even move into this pose from a thread the needle kind of space. So many different ways to engage. So which way feels really like patience to you, allows you to embody a sense of allowing, a sense of trust, a sense of knowing that you, just as you are in the skin that you're in, are perfect, and that you are right on time. Mind in the breath, breath in the heart. A heart that is wide enough to hold and allow this to whatever this is for you. Three more breaths, knowing that just this is enough. At the end of that third breath, start to make your way back to the center. Retrace your steps. Land and settle. Humble and open. Exhale all the way into the center of the heart center. As you inhale, stretch and reach your arms out in front of you. Curl up onto hands and knees. And one more time as you exhale, just tuck your toes and stretch back, downward facing dog. Just opening up through the backs of the legs. Let that take the time that it takes. The hamstrings to open. It might take this whole lifetime for the backs of the legs to soften and open, maybe two. And that's okay. No need to push your own agenda here, and just simply allow things to unfold, just like you would allow a rosebud to bloom in its own time. Knowing that if you just try to force the petals open, you'll just end up killing the thing. Same thing here. One more inhale. Now as you exhale, simply drop down onto your knees. Cross over onto your ankles and simply flip over onto your back. Final resting pose, Shavasana. So allow yourself this time to get the support that you need to soften and to settle. Feel the gentle whisper of your breath. expanding and softening the heart, increasing its capacity for awareness and allowing. Allow your whole body to settle to this quality of patience and allow it into a state of deep, restful openness. Here in the tender, loving arms of patience, we take refuge and rest. And as you remain at rest here in the space of your heart, I want to share with you a really simple Mark Nepo quote. He wrote, "Some uncomprehended law holds us at a point of contradiction where we have no choice, where we do not always like what we love, where good and bad are inseparable partners impossible to tell apart, and where we, heartbroken and ecstatic, can only resolve the conflict by blindly taking it into our hearts." So on your next inhale, my love, simply take this moment in as it is. And as you exhale, simply let it settle, let it be. Allow the winds of your heart to begin to grow deep and rich within the field of your experience. Until it inspires your body to move into a state of awakening, to move with patience and with grace. You take your time to stretch out and wake up. Eventually, you'll make your way onto your side and up to a seat for meditation. When you do come up to a seat, maybe you want to put a meditation cushion or a pillow beneath your hips, or maybe you even want to sit up on a chair. But you'll want to sit in a way that your
Spine can be uplifted without so much effort. Allow your eyes to softly close. Take a moment of simple being. To invite in a state of allowing, to call upon the quality of patience. Once again, call the power of your beautiful mind down to rest. A soft, subtle breath in the space of your chest, in the space of your heart. Without really having to do anything with the breath this time, as you inhale, just feel the radiance in the heart space, the filling. As you exhale, experience the softening and the settling. It's like the inhale is a gathering, an allowing, a bringing in, a welcoming of the experience. The exhale is a simple settling and a softening. The inhale, we simply welcome it all in. The exhale, we simply soften and allow it all to be. You don't really have to do anything here, but rest within the arms of your breath, in the space of your heart, and notice how the inhale welcomes, the exhale softens. You may have to invite your busy mind back to be soothed by the breath 10,000 times. That's perfect. Have patience with that too, for every time your attention strays, every time you notice and remember to come back. We're building the bridge of patience, getting stronger with attention and your capacity for allowing. So each of those wanderings is really a gift. Each of those coming back, a moment to build strength. Inhale, simply welcome what is, taking the moment as it comes. And as you exhale, just let it be what it is. Now for the last couple of minutes here, the bottom of your exhale, as you land and settle in the vast spaciousness of your unbound heart for a moment, rest there beyond even the breath. Allow the inhale to rise and to welcome. Allow the exhale to settle you a little more completely into the center of the heart and the space beyond even the breath. In that breathless place, acknowledge the ease of simple being. Quality of allowing. Deep patience. A place where we know beyond the shadow of a doubt that we all are doing the best that we can for just this moment. That is enough. Knowing that you are right on time, just as and where you need to be. Please hold your hands like a prayer at the center of your heart in Anjali Mudra, the mudra of blessing, the mudra of offering. This quality of patience that rest in the palms of your hands. Bless your own heart first. This is the fertile ground here in our own hearts, where patience has the capacity to grow in the gardens of our families and of our communities and in our lives. Allow your heart to lift, your heads to bow low. And may you know deep in your heart of hearts that you are so full with love. May you be well. in your body, your mind, your heart, and your soul. May you have the strength and the courage enough to call upon patience, to take the moment as it is, yourself and all others as they are. May that always guide you along the pathway of peace and bring you, this world, and all beings everywhere great blessings of absolute joy. Namaste. Thank you all so much for your practice and for your patience this morning. I'll be looking forward to seeing you guys on Tuesday. I hope you have a beautiful day and a beautiful weekend. Sending you so much love again. Thank you. Bye for now.